So on Notion, create a new page called sprints. Okay, and expand this slash date table, and then database, let's call it as sprints. Okay, the first property would be sprint name. Okay, and the sprint name would be my improved search accuracy, so I'll be typing it here. And the second would be enhancing explore and personalization. Okay, let's skip the other two sprints. Okay, each sprint has a start and an end date, so we'll be creating a property, and as you have guessed correctly, it would be a date property, and we'll call it as timeline. Okay, now according to our chart, we need to link a sprint table to our epic table. For that, what we are going to create is our relation. So click on plus a relation and select our epic table. Now there's something interesting I would like to explain it here. So in a typical relation, our data is flowing from one table to the child table. But if you enable a two-way relation, then that means the data is being transferred from each other. So it's a two-way relation. And here I'll be calling that two-way relation called sprint only. Okay. So now when I click on here, I can see all my epics, and I can link in them, and let's try to link the third one here just for an example. Okay, now as I said, it's a two-way relation. So when I go to epics, my sprint relation is already being created automatically and it has been linked correctly. This is the power of two-way relation. So back to the sprint, let's try to put our deadline as well from 1st Jan, and it has an end date of 5th Jan, and again this has a starting date as 1st till end date 8th. Okay, all right, so back to our chart, we have also linked our sprint table, and finally we'll be linking our sprint table to a version table. So on Notion, click on plus, create a version table. Okay, and add a table view, call it as version, and just hide this. The first property would be a version name. Okay, second thing would be a date, which would be a release date in our case. Okay, and again I want to see all my sprints under this version, so I'll be creating a relation and I'll call it as, I'll be linking my sprint table here, and it's depending upon you can do either two-way relation or one-way. Alright, so my version would be smarter product discovery, and I'll be adding it here. Okay, I'll call it as version 3.1 smarter product discovery. The release date, as I told, will be the 31st Jan. Okay, the sprints are here and you can link it here. Again, it was a two-way relation, so when I go back to the sprint, my version is already being created and linked to each other. Okay, so finally we have created all 4 data sets and they are now linked to each other. Now in order to make the experience rich, I want to count how many user stories I have in my sprint table. But our table is linked like a parent-child relation. So our sprint table is linked to epics and epics is linked to user story. There's no direct connection between sprint to ticket. Now we don't to create another relation here. All we can do is to leverage the already existing relation. So under my sprint, I'll create a new property and I'll select something called rollup. So rollup means you have a relation between your table, and now you are importing a property from that relation. So as you can see, I have selected rollup, and relation I will select epic because my epic table is linked to sprint. And which property I would like to inherit, it could be my user story. Okay, and then I can just click on here and then count all. Okay, yeah, so see, I have, because my sprint table is linked to epic and epic is linked to user story, I asked my epic table to give me all the user story, and then I imported that to my sprint table, and I can call it as number of user story. Okay, so that's all about it. We have created different database in our Scrum workflow and link the table to each other. When you will use it, you will find how perfectly they are linking to each other, and this is how you can track your different tasks under your sprints. In order to enrich the experience further, we can add more details and write down details about our user story. So when I open a user story, I can add details like these, which defines what my user story is. So as a user, you can say as a customer, I want to use the search feature so that I can search relevant products. And in acceptance criteria, you can define that under which condition this ticket will be marked as completed. Okay, and you don't need to copy paste this for every ticket. For that, what you can do is copy this and then go to this new section and create a template. Okay, and you can call it as new user story. Okay, you can leave these and then paste those things here. Okay, you can just delete these and fill in space. Okay, so now you created this and you go back, just click on here and then make this the default template. And what it will do is next time you will create a new user story. Okay, and when you open it, those things will be already there. Thanks for watching. I hope I did my best in order to explain you how to create a template on Notion and how to actually conduct a sprint in your startup or in your side project or anywhere else. If you have any question, just write down on the comments, I will definitely answer you and help you. You can subscribe to my channel because I will be putting other interesting videos which can help you become a better designer or a better product manager. Stay tuned.